and of course parents. And we wouldn't have this day without our talented children. So thank you very much for inviting me to your school, and it's a pleasure. There was a little bit of negotiating going on between Mr. Emmanuel and myself, because I wasn't quite sure what to expect. This is the first school that has invited me to come and participate in your music day. And I thank you. Thank you all for inviting me. It's really an honour to be here. And now a little bit about me. I'm Australian, specialist, music, pedagogue, teacher, musician. I've worked in education over 20 years. I've travelled the world probably about 6 times around, from Australia around the world. I've taught on 4 continents and many different schools, mixed, private, public, you name it. I think I've had an experience. And everywhere I go, it's always the same. Meeting nice people, teaching children, participating in concerts, and just enjoying and learning new cultures. And so I've been here 9 months, since September last year, and I've enjoyed every minute. Yes, it took me a while to settle and to understand certain cultural differences, but I think that, you know, like my head teacher said to me, Daina, you'll either love it or you'll hate it. So there's nothing in between, really. And I can say I love it, but I couldn't say I hate it. I love the music. You have beautiful music, and this is probably what keeps me going here. And just listening to the choir singing that traditional song, I think this is what it's all about. This is about your music. It's not really about, I guess, my music, because I can't really now say my music and your music. Music is all around the world music. It's a pleasurable experience and it's a stimulus. So I have my flute, and I'm going to show you how to put it together. How many of you play the flute here from the upper junior? Right, so you know that you start with the body, then you attach the head, and you should never hold it by the keys because you can damage. Just a little bit about me, where I started learning the flute. I was 9 years old, and I started learning the flute in Poland. I travelled to Poland because my parents were involved with the embassy, and I had the privilege of studying in the best music specialist school in Eastern Europe. So I guess I've been quite lucky, and I thank that to my mum and dad, because I was able to travel and study somewhere where music was obviously something very important. So this is how you put the flute together, and I was 9 years old, and I remember I always wanted to play like this pop group, 2+1. It was a pop group that I saw on TV. I didn't have a TV when I was growing up, but I saw glimpses of it when I went to visit some family members. And I remember there was 2 guitarists and a flautist, and I had my eye on that. And I remember I said to my mum, I want to play the flute. I want to. And then my mum said, but do you really want to play the flute? I said, yes, and I'm going to be the best. So I already knew what I wanted. And so when I got my hands on my own flute, when I was 9 years old, I slept. I remember my first night, I slept with my flute. I never parted with it. To this day, I have my flute. I carry it with me everywhere. Because it's small, it fits into my suitcase. And I can take it with me just like a recorder or a clarinet. Or even a saxophone would probably fit in a suitcase. So these are the instruments that you can take with you. Others, unfortunately, you can't. Because they're either too big or too old. But this is an instrument that I've loved for the last 40 years. because I am 49. So there you go. And, you know, it's amazing how you can sort of fall in love with things when you're a child. And when you happen to have that thing that you're falling in love all your life, it becomes part of you. It becomes who you are. Yes, I do play the piano as well. I try to avoid electronic instruments because I was brought up playing acoustic, not electronic. That's why I don't like microphones. I believe that my voice, everybody can hear. If I project my voice right, then everybody should be able to hear me. And it's the same with music. If you can play well on your instrument, you don't need a microphone. You don't really, unless you've got a very big audience. That's when you take the microphone. But there you go. So this is it. This is my instrument. It's a woodwind instrument. I've had it for a number of years. And I'll play for you some. I'll see if I can play for you just a tune. It's called a Hungarian dance by Brahms. You had Brahms, I think, on... I don't have the piano accompaniment. No, I'm just playing from the top of my head. Doesn't matter really. It's not going to be very long. And then I would like to play maybe that Love Me Tender with a choir. If we can just play it just together, that would be nice. Because flute is not really an instrument where you should play it on your own. It's an instrument where you should join with other instruments. Okay, so here you go. Hungarian Dance by Brahms. But you know, you need the piano.